Welcome to a new series called I'm Obsessed with This Book, okay? I got to read Blood Over Brighthaven by M.L. Wang. I have not read anything else by M.L. Wang before, and I'm about to devour everything that she has ever written. I'm obsessed with this book. I have said it multiple times on stream, to my friends, to my family, just everyone needs to read this book. I love this book so much. I don't even know if I can be coherent in giving a review for it, but I need to just talk about it. I need to talk about this book. It's so good. It was an arc that I had, but I was late on reading it. It came out last year. It actually came out in 2023, and then it was like republished. It was like indie, and then it went trad, I think. And it's fantastic. It's phenomenal. I have zero complaints, and that is really hard to do because I'm really good at complaining. Even with what it did with the story, I'm not mad about it because it fit. It fit the whole thing. So what we have is this world where there are people who live beyond this thing called the blight, or live with this thing called the blight. And basically it is deathly light, and it just is random. It's nonsensical. It just destroys people. It tears them to shreds. And there is a tribe of people who are called the Quinn, who are trying to leave to a place where the blight does not happen because there is a protected magical barrier. But in order to get there, you got to cross the river where the blight is really strong. And so the whole tribe crosses to make it out. It's a very big, devastating, and we have one of our main kind of characters named Tommel, who survives with his niece and soon discovers that living in this magical world as a Quinn, where you are considered a second-class citizen, basically, is very hard. And the only way that he can stay alive there is to work and to pretend that his niece is his daughter. Otherwise, they would take her away and things would not be good. So we have that as our opening. Then we transfer over to Sayona. So Sayona wants to be a High Mage. She's already a mage. She's very smart, but the High Mages do not let women in. They let one test every few years, and she's the chosen one to be tested and prove that she has just as much power and ability as all these men, right? So we have this patriarchal society that needs to do away. And so she has her sponsor, Professor Brigham, and he believes in her. He knows that she is so talented and she can do this. So she goes in, takes the test, and things don't go necessarily as planned, but she does become a High Mage, okay? Not a huge spoiler because it's very early on in the book, and in order for me to talk about the rest of the book, I have to tell you that she's a High Mage. Things don't go well, though. So she's the first female High Mage, and bulliness ensues. Every other High Mage in there hates her. All the Archmages pretty much hate her, except for her professor and mentor. So much that they bully her into giving her an assistant, but the assistant is a janitor. Here we come back with Tommel, the Quinn, who is now being forced into being her assistant as a joke. But she's like, you know what? Screw you guys. It'll work great because she's a very independent person. She doesn't even really need an assistant, and he can get paid more, so whatever, it's fine. And they form this kind of unlikely friendship where she ends up actually teaching him a bit of magic and having really good banter. And through Tommel, she learns more about the society that she loves so much, about the faith and the religion that she has, and everything basically gets shattered for her. And this is one of my favorite tropes. When you take a character who is just so self-confident and so stalwart in what they believe, and then have it broken down, and the horror of that sink in when you realize that everything you've worked for is causing horrible things to happen to other people. You had no idea, and it's that eye-opening moment, and now what are you going to do about it? And I found Sayona's reactions were realistic for somebody who was that zealous in her faith, and her breakdown into what she becomes by the end of the book is so beautifully done and so believable. It's not pretty. It's not an easy road, but it works so well for this story. And finding out, like, how deep does this go? How rooted is this? And testing the world to see what she can do to fix this and make it better. And it's just so good. And it's so high stakes. And you're so terrified for what's going to happen. And things just, they never quite go the way you think they're going to go in this book. Okay. Now, all the while, we also have Tamil, who is dealing with her knowing this, and he's been living this the whole time, right? But he's finally got this kind of glimmer of hope because of how she is, and knows that, you know what, she's really determined. And because I can now feel like I trust her with this information, sorry, my heater just kicked on, he has more hope. Now, his niece, less so. I love her though. She's so fun. She's very violent, and she has to like dress up as a boy in order to get better jobs, and she's just like not putting up with it. She is ready to take down this society, but she's not about to do it with the mage. No way, no how. So I love the conflict between them and how that relationship sort of grows to the end of this book. Now, the book does end fairly open. A lot of things happen, and it is a standalone. I hope that maybe we could get a sequel just to see how this all ended out. But it's a realistic ending, and it worked. And even though it made me kind of sad and just want more, it was absolutely perfection. Okay. I'm just obsessed with this book, and I want you to be obsessed with this book. So please go read this book so we can talk about it and scream about it, because I love it. I loved the system. The way that the magic works in this is also very interesting. It's very scientific, very logical, while, you know, it's still magic and stuff. It's very, 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 very cool. I'm just like, I'm so mad that I didn't think of this, you know? So I envy Emma Wang, her talent, her ability to write like this, and or the world building that she's done. Just absolutely epic. And I bow before you, Emma Wang. I bow. This is, if I were to do another like 5-star audit kind of thing where I decide to figure out where my favorite book is, honestly, this is my favorite book of all time right now. I don't know if anything could, I'm scared to read anymore because nothing's going to live up to this. I don't know if anything can live up to this. It's so good. Okay, I need to go take a nap. I need to calm down. Everything's fine. I'm an adult. Okay, great. Awesome. That's my review for Blood Over Brighthaven. Please go read it. It's amazing. Oh my God. Just go read it. Okay, bye.